So this is a lesson for Year 10 Sociology in our Education section. And next we're going to look at the connection between social class and educational attainment. A big deal in the sociology of education. Class, your social class background, your middle class, working class, where you are in the class pyramid. And educational attainment is a fancy way of saying how well or how badly you do at school. Your grades, your GCSE results. That's what we mean by educational attainment. So we're going to learn about the relationship between these two things, to understand why it happens this way, or some of the ways it happens that way, and to think like a sociologist. Get that perspective I'm always talking about. Keywords are meritocracy, intelligence, IQ. The Q stands for quotient, means how much of something there is. It's quotient. Development, interest, support, determination, bothered, parents' evening, homework. These are all ideas that people have as to how come middle class kids tend to do better at school than working class kids. A very quick example we'll come back to, parents' evenings. If you go to a very, very posh school, at a parents' evening, the turnout is close to 100%. At other schools, mostly working class kids, the turnout is much lower, 30, 40, 50%. Yeah? And there's a connection between the kids doing well at school, badly at school, and that, we think. Okay, let's start off with something basic. Put simply, the children of middle-class parents usually get better grades in school than the children of working-class parents. The big question is why. Before we go on to that, let's look at some data. Yeah? Social class, IQ, and educational attainment chart here. So they measure people's IQ when they're 11. Yeah? If you're 130 plus, you're extremely intelligent. If you're 115 to 129, you're very intelligent. So massively above that age, really super clever. So they measure the kids with that age. And they look at, well, what does their dad do for a living? So if you're really massively clever, and your dad is middle class, non-manual, you have a 37% chance of getting a degree. If you're just as intelligent, but your father is working class, you have half that chance, 18% of getting a degree. So the kids are as clever, the kids are equal in intellect. The difference is what their dad does for a living. Yeah? It halves it. And the same pattern you can see here with these very clever kids. If your dad is middle class, you have a higher chance of going to university than if your dad is working class. How come? They're as clever. They're not stupid, no stupider, but they don't do as well at school. The chart produced a few years ago. Look at the 4 lines. The green. This line is for kids of high social class. Their parents are middle class, towards the top of the pyramid, but they're low ability. They're not very clever. But over the months of going to school, so year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through on 22 months. Yeah, that's end of year 11. Their score rises. Yeah. High social class, high ability. They start off well, and they keep high. But look here. Low social class, low ability. If your parents are poor, you're working class, and you're not very bright, school, you just bump along the bottom. You don't improve over these months. But crucially, this grey one here, low social class, high ability. These are them. These are very, very clever kids when they start school. But over the course of the next 11 years, they go down and down and down. And about here, which is around about year 8, 9, the stupid middle class kid overtakes the clever working class kid. Yeah, we'll do a lot more work on this in class. So class and educational attainment. Your family class and a child's grade to school. There should be no connection between these two factors because we are a meritocracy. In a meritocracy, class and education should not be connected. But there is. If you are clever and working class, then you are less likely to go to university than an equally clever middle class child. Why? The middle class mostly value education more highly than the working class, e.g. they go to parents' evenings, they read to their kids, they generally push their kids harder, they know how important it is, they push their kids. And we also say the middle class are better at preparing their kids for educational success. This is the reading to them, this is the cultural capital thing we mentioned before. We'll do a lot more work on this in class. Yeah. If you look in the book, this is on page 52 and 53.